This is the Wordlife show on Ujima Radio. Mad. Hey, banger after banger after
Thank you, bro.
banger. And I'm not just saying it, bro. Like, you gave me 12 tracks to play on the show. I played every single one of them, and that's a rarity. I swear down, yeah?
Bless.
Right, so for those who are watching on the video, okay, because we've been doing this for the last 2 hours on radio, I am here with Griz-O,
Yo.
the Southwest Sicko, yeah, Gloucester's finest.
Out to everyone locked in, yeah.
Absolute legend out here, bruv, yeah. Now, I know you've been on the scene for a long time, but it is shamefully, it's my first time having you on, you know what I mean? So I want to do like a generic get to know you kind of interview, you know what I mean?
Cool.
Because I think like, any of the Bristol lot or the Southwest lot that don't know you, you're missing the trick, because you are easily one of the best, most, how do I say, like put together, like you know, you've got everything right. It's everything's in the right places. The tracks are tight. You're accomplished. You've done a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tried, man. I'm trying.
Well, you know. Some people are hard at taking compliments, apparently. But no, he's sick. You know, generally sick. And I mean, I wouldn't just say this stuff. I don't have to say it. I could be like, oh, so he's
no, I appreciate it, man.
He's a rapper. That's what you know. What I mean? Nah, you're a machine, bro. Yeah. I've seen you perform at countless events.
Yeah.
Kill it every time. You get the crowd eating out your hand. You got big presents, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So yeah, big up, props.
Thank you.
Where's deserved. Right, so for the people who don't know, Griz-O.
Yeah.
I'm guessing your mum didn't call you that. That's not your birth name, right?
Nah. My real name's Lucas. But
you didn't have to tell me that. You know, you might as well go. Yeah, big up, Lucas. On the real,
I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed. That's my name. You know what I mean?
Nah, honestly, that's what these interviews are for the reality and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just meant like, where did Griz-O come from?
So basically, my size at school, at secondary school, there was a day when like someone was trying to like, you ever like rumble at school, wrestle, fight and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone tried to, and I just threw them away, and he was like, "Oh, you're like a bear, man. You're like a grizzly bear." And it kind of just, when it came time to me doing my music stuff, that was just sort of the name, Grizzly B. That was my original.
That was the first one. So how did it become Griz-O? Then was that just? That was,
so I was in a crew. Obviously, used to make music as part of a crew, RC, and then when
that
I
was
started,
the crew name, RC. Then?
RC, yeah. Okay. And then I started.
That's what that stands for.
Resurrection Crew originally, and then we sort of,
we all had a name like that back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and then we grew up, and then we changed it to Raise Cash. Obviously, people were doing,
they got jobs,
other things, and got jobs, and they were raising cash.
I love it. Yeah, no, that's amazing.
So and then when I started doing my own solo journey in like 2010, I just want my own name. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, not my own name, but like
you were to separate
the sort of the new sort of
the rebirth of
it's the same thing, but the official, you know what I mean, the solo version. So Griz-O, O is for like oso, which is bear in Spanish, so it's still grizzly bear. It's just a bit of a twist on it. Yeah, exactly.
Fair.
Yeah, man.
Now honestly, you're a great artist. I mean, I know you used to do a lot of hip hop stuff back in the day, the mixtape era sort of thing. Was it 3 mixtapes you done?
Yeah. So obviously that was when you was making physical stuff. I was like giving out CDs and stuff like that. So it's about 3 or 4 mixtapes I've done. They're all on my Bandcamp, I think.
So they can still check for them.
Yeah. Right, I think there's some of them on my Bandcamp.
That's good to know, because it's been good since day. You know, you was always good. But then you've done, as you say, EPs, and then you've done the Southwest Sicko album.
Yeah, that's recent.
That's your new and only album that you've done as an album.
That I've called an album, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I see you got the merch as well, the T-shirt, the Southwest Sicko and stuff. So that's the one you're pushing, then, yeah. That's
the sort of name. Obviously, I'm from Gloucester, and I was like repping Gloucester quite hard, like. Yeah. And then when I've sort of taken it out and gone to Bristol, I've sort of taken on the Southwest Sicko, do you know what I mean? Because I rep more than just Gloucester. I rep for Bristol as well. I rep for Cheltenham. I rep for Stroud. Do you know what I mean? All these little places where, not necessarily little, but places where we don't have the biggest voice compared to like London or other, capitals. So it's just like I rep the Southwest. It's not just Gloucester, Southwest Sicko. That's what I'm.
Well, claim that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Claim that.
Southwest Sicko. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Now I think definitely Sicko with the bars, and I think Gloucester's just on the road, man. That's literally
exactly.
That's all local. That's around there. You know what I mean? I got bare people up on Gloucester. I know. So props. And, I mean, is there any clubs in Gloucester at all like that play this sort of music or?
Not to my knowledge. I don't really go out a lot like that anyway, because it's not there. I've had to come to Bristol to sort of
if I'm honest, I can't recall a place in Gloucester that really does play that.
Nah, it's very sort of...
Not to say they don't, and sorry, I apologise.
There probably is, isn't it? But it's just very sort of traditional. I think sort of a lot of the new crowd is playing more trap, amapiano sort of.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas the sort of live spitting element of it, even if it's PAs, it's not really, unless there's a festival going on, there's not really that room for it in Gloucester.
Is there any festivals in Gloucester then?
Yeah, there's King's Jam that happens. There's Cider Festival that happens. There's a few festivals where they book like big artists to come down and stuff.
And are they booking you? They should be.
Not really, no, if I'm honest. But
locals, like, you're missing out. You got him on your own doorstep, and you're not. Shame. Like, they need to listen to.
But like at the same time, I've performed at Love Saves the Day Festival. I've performed at Tokyo. So do you know what I mean? I'm not bummed about performing.
I'm not saying you should be, but at the same time, I'm telling them that they're missing a good thing. Because my sick still.
It is what it is, man. I've sort of spent my years being. Oh, why ain't I getting love in my hometown? But it's just, I'm over that. Do you know what I mean? I'm
You've just branched out and you've gone further.
Southwest sicko, you know what I mean?
I honestly think, bro, once they see what you're doing and the moves you're doing out here, they'll be like, I knew him. Yeah, you see, that's my mucker from Gloucester. That's how they all are, innit? You know. But honestly, props. So I've noticed you're working with a hell of a lot of good producers. That was one of the first things that stood out. Obviously, your bar's top tier, but the beats. And I think this is it. If you're in a club and you're performing and stuff like that, the beats is the first thing you hear. But before you've listened to a bar, you know what I mean, they've decided whether they like you or not when they hear the beats. What's your ethos on beats then?
I think starting off, I have to say that I love music, innit? So I've grown up listening to music. So I'd say that I've got a good taste for, like, an ear for music. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm sort of at the age, I'm not going to say, you know, that I'm old, but sort of before I had internet. So I would just like have instrumental CDs or stuff where you'd make your own like CDs and stuff like that. So I'm from that age, do you know what I'm saying? I remember just having these things. So always listening to instrumentals and knowing what these beats are, and just.
So is that where the mixtapes all come from then?
I've always had like thousands of instrumentals, and then obviously when LimeWire and those things came about, the files increased. Do you know what I mean?
But now I never hear you do covers nowadays. What do you think the reason for that is, that you've gone past that then?
It's just I like to have my own stuff. Do you know what I mean? I think it makes more sense. You can do more with it. In the past, I've made mixtape tracks that have been picked up by like BBC. People have offered to publish it and stuff like that, and I can't do nothing with it because it's just a track that I've literally sort of stolen, I guess you could say, off the internet.
You know what I'm saying? Intellectual property, I guess, isn't it? So
put it this way, I learnt my lesson, and then now I just try and work with people. Do you know what I mean? And since reaching out to like people like 091, I've made a project with him in the past, and like other producers, I like to have a relationship with producers. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just. Some people obviously just send me beats and I vocal them, but if I can get sort of a back and forth, then that is ideally what I'm looking for. Do you know what I mean?
I know this, but I want our listeners and our audience to take note, because there's people now, every week we do this on the show, and obviously we upload it, and then we can't monetize it because they've thieved all the beats from YouTube. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm trying to monetize off them. We give them the money if they're in it.
But to anyone watching that wants to sort of hears my music and think they got something that we could work on, then feel free to hit me up, man. I'm pretty versatile as well. So
producers, you want to take him up on that? I'm telling you, he's thoroughly good. I'm not just saying it. He's dope. Now, right, project-wise then. So the EP was with 091.
Yeah, that was in 2018. I released that.
That's one of my muckers, but he's 6. So.
That's when I sort of was coming into Bristol a bit more, if you know what I mean. I would feature on different radio stations, doing a few smaller grime shows, 140 shows and stuff like that. And like, I sort of is almost like a rebirth of myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, because like I said, being from Gloucester, you're not always sort of praised or whatever. So it was almost felt like he was doing something wrong. And then when you come to here, and I did exactly the same thing, maybe even less of a version of the same thing, and seeing people's reaction, I'm like, oh, so maybe it's not
was good all along.
It's not just me. Like, you know what I mean?
In the bucket mentality,
So and obviously, and then I've done shows in London. I've gone out to Kazakhstan and done a show. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like,
I wouldn't have guessed that. What's the grime scene in Kazakh like?
They got a scene over there, man. They booked. Have you heard of Jack Dat?
I have.
The grime. So they booked him. the 1 year, and then they have like a 2-year anniversary show or something like that. But big up to the True DJ School in Kazakhstan. Yeah. They saw one of my YouTube videos.
But big up you lot, you know.
They booked me and flew me out, hotels, paid me, all that sort of stuff. Looked after me, do you know what I mean? So
if you need an artist for next year, you know where to go. No, that's
but like, no, and I can take it then outside of Gloucester. I'm not that I'm not interested there. It's just that
he wants that hometown love as well, really. Yeah,
I can do it worldwide. Do you know what I mean? And I felt that
don't make him have to blow up around the world before you support us on your own doorstep, people. And I think it's a shocking thing that people need to stop doing and get out of that mentality. Because honestly, support local. You know, I mean, I think that's something they need to look into, because there's so much talent there. I mean, in your city alone, I mean, Dashvilles is who else? Dread, isn't it?
Dread, Ryder Shafiq. There's a few younger people up and coming. There's like Music Works, so they've got like a sort of network of new musicians coming up. Do you know what I mean? People like Johnny Darko. I think there's a few other people. Do you know what I mean? There's probably, I'm not gonna reel off names. There's probably people I've forgotten. Sorry if I forgot you.
No. My point is, Gloucester's got talent, and I realise. And if you find that there's somebody who's actually going out of their way to come from Gloucester and they're coming to Bristol to do their music, they're probably a bit more serious than a lot of people who take it like half-heartedly. You know what I mean? So right, Southwest Sicko. You've dropped that. That's out on all streaming platforms.
Yeah, I dropped that earlier this year. That was February. March I dropped that. Sorry, yeah.
All right, so you've got is it a single coming out? Is it next?
Yeah. So this next single is the first piece of music I've released since the album.
Right.
So it's just like it's probably older than some of the songs on the album, but it's just where COVID and stuff. I've just got like a backlog of tunes. Some of them haven't been mixed and mastered, and do you know what I mean? So there's like a backlog of stuff.
And this is one that had to come out.
This is one that
make the album, so I had to make
it. Sick. And I've got a few more tracks with the producer.
What's this one called? Sorry,
it's called Rerouting.
Right, that's the one we featured earlier on. Hey, that was a banger, you know. That is really a really sick track. So support that when it drops.
And that was literally in lockdown. Dunman was just posting clips of his beats that he was just making at home and stuff, so I just hit him up. He sent me some beats, like so
yeah, man. Hey bruv, I honestly props, thank you for coming through. We haven't got too long, but I just want to say, now you're from the school of MCs, yeah, and I had Bugsy on a bit ago, and something he said that stood out, and I thought this was important, is there's grime artists now and there's grime MCs.
Okay.
Can you see what I'm saying? As much as you could be a grime artist because you write songs and stuff like that, I see you as a grime MC. You're one of them people that could shell a whole set down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be honest though, I try and be versatile. I like doing PAs as well, like of my songs. Do you know what I mean? Like to sort of
I think people get people get paid more doing PAs. I meant as a compliment that you're one of these people that you've got bars on bars on bars on bars, and not just a track. You know what I mean? And you could adapt to a beat, and you could spit this track over that beat, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, some people might not like this answer, but I feel that's how it should be. Like you should be like
difference between a grime MC and an artist. I think that's it. You know, and
I think like it's too mediocre a bit. Like, and we sort of let people pass. Like, not that you should be gunning people down. We should always be bringing people up and like raising the next generation and whatnot. And like, you know,
but we should be telling people they're good when they're not.
But there should be some more quality control. Is basically what I'm saying. Yeah,
that is our quote. You know, we write a headline on all the things. There should be some more quality control. You heard it there.
Whether it's through bigger radio DJs or smaller radio DJ, any sort of, do you know what I mean? There should be some sort of like,
I like that. Honestly, I'm not just saying it. I agree. There needs to be more quality control. But well, that's why we got you on.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Right. So literally, we've got like a minute or two. I don't want to take off from your like performance part of the show. And we got 3 bangers coming up, and we got some adverts. So could you let them know your social media and where they can find you and your music, please?
Yeah. So I got a website, Griz Official. GRIZofficial.com.
Can you get the merch on there?
You can. There's a link to go to my social medias where you can get it on there, but mainly go onto my Bandcamp, and that's where all the merch is. I got like a Southwest Sicko box which contains the album on a USB. It's got the t-shirt, a pad, pen, stickers, fridge magnet.
Take note, man's got the whole
not a care package, it's a bear package, you know. So
that's it.
There's £30 postage.
Only 30 quid as well.
Yeah. I've hand painted all the boxes and stuff myself, so it's like a personal project. Like I said earlier, I used to do mixtapes, used to write on every single disc and cut the tape. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm from. That's
a bit of attention, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's for 30 quid. Like, I swear, there's people out every week, every night, bossing £40.
Size extra large is sold out though. I just thought sorry to the extra large crew, but I got all the other sizes, small to 3XL. So yeah,
wicked. Right. Shout me. So what's your Bandcamp page? Let them know what that is. So
just Griz Official. If you just type in Griz-O, GRIZ-O and Bandcamp, it'll come up. I'm sure of it. So yeah,
we're going into the commercials now. Stick around. We'll be back after that with a live performance. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
I just told him as soon as I can. Teamwork got a little boy sitting on the moon fishing.
Wait, what did he say?
I said teamwork makes the dream work. If it's beef, then it's knee jerk. See Wordlife on a t-shirt, brazen chest and blazing, amazing blazing knees nerds. If you don't know, do your research. As if it could be worse. You're looking at 6 man who can't be hurt. Verse is the universe, and that's 2 times 3 verse. We don't need no other features. You're gonna turn these some honorable creatures. Put you in a free hearse, all the way to D-church. Couple of believers, then it's reverse, then it's back to the burial ground where we put him man in need her. And that's what he deserves. We up with murderous entrepreneurs. If you ain't part of the team, then you ain't part of the fam. Wanna ride quick 16.